Good morning, I am Kiran Raj. Welcome to the online classes on data structure. Today we will see about the arrays, records and pointers. Data structure, it can be divided into two groups, primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. Primitive data structure are the basic fundamental data structure that is available with us: integer, real, character and boolean. Boolean, it can only store true or false. While coming to character, it can store characters. Real, it is going to store the real numbers, and integer can only store the whole numbers. Non-primitive data structure, it can be divided into two groups, linear data structure and the non-linear data structure. Today we will see about the linear data structure. Linear data structure can be divided into arrays, linked list, stacks and queues. When you can say any data structure as a linear, if the elements are arranged in a sequence, then we can say that the data structure is a linear data structure. If the elements are arranged in a sequence, then you can say that it is a linear data structure. Linear data structure can be achieved by two methods. The first method is by the memory location, that is by the array, and the second one is by the pointer or by the links, that is linked list. Operation performed on the linear data structure, we have 6 operations that can be performed on the linear data structure. The first one is traversing, second one is searching, inserting, deleting, sorting and merging. Traversing, where you are processing each element in a list. It can be anything, maybe you are filling the data, or maybe you are taking the data, or you are doing some operation. You are just processing every element in the list, that is traversing. Searching, you are finding the location of the element or the record with the given element or with the given key. Inserting, you are adding the new element to the list. Deleting, you are deleting one element from the list. Sorting, you are arranging the elements in certain logical order, maybe in the ascending order or maybe in the descending order. It can be any order. Merging, you are combining two lists to one list. For example, I am combining two arrays to one array. So that is merging. Linear arrays. Linear arrays are the finite number of n homogeneous data elements. As we already know, it is a collection of n homogeneous. What do you mean by homogeneous? It is a collection of same type of data elements. That is linear array. But while coming to the linear array, you should have certain condition. The first one is elements will be having index set, and index set will be in the consecutive number. Consecutive number means it is continuous number. For example, if it is started from 1, then till the n elements, it is continuous number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and n, like that. It is going to be continuous. And another one is they are arranged in the successive memory allocation. So in the memory also they are arranged in a proper manner, that is one after the another. What about length or the size of the array? Length or the size of the array is represented by n, and it is not restricted that index should be from 1 to n only. It is not restricted. Let us say that I am starting the index from m, then my index will be m plus 1, m plus 2, m plus n. If I am starting my index by 0, then it will be 0, 1, 2 and n dash 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 n. Or most of the time in the data structure class we will be using the index value from 1 to n. Now let us see what is the number of elements that is present in the array, how it can be calculated. So we have the formula for the length or the number of elements in the array, that is length is equal to ub minus lb plus 1, that is upper bound minus lower bound plus 1. Let us take one example. Let me say that I have the array of 10 elements. So what is the n value? N value is 10. And let me say that I have the index starting from 1. Then ub is 10, lb, that is lower bound, it will be 1. So let me apply the formula. ub, that is 10, minus 1 plus 1, it will give me the answer 10. Now let me say that my again array is of 10 elements and my lower bound or my index starts from 0. When I say that my index starts from 0, then my upper bound is n minus 1, that is 9. So 9 minus 0 plus 1 is 10 elements. How the array is represented? You can represent the array in two methods. Either you can use the matrix representation or you can use the subscript. So A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 till AN, and or if you are only going to use the matrix notation or brackets, then A of 1, A of 2, A of 3 till AN. So if I am having A of k, k represents the subscript or index and A of k represents the value present in the array in that particular index location. So A of 1, that gives me the value present in the array A in the first or in the index value 1. If I am telling about A of 3, then it gives me the value of the array A present at the third position or third index. Array as an ADT, that is abstract data type. What is ADT or abstract data type? Before that, let us see what is data type. What is data type? Data type gives two things. One is it mentions about what is the domain of that particular data. For example, if I am saying integer data type, it tells me what is the domain, that is what is a value that can be stored. For example, integer value can only store integer number, whole number. Let me say that character or char, what is the char data type? What is the domain? It is going to store characters. And it also, data type also do another thing. It also mentions what type of the operations you can do on those. For example, when I am mentioning integer, what are the operations that can be done on the integer? I can do the addition, I can do the subtraction, I can do the multiplication, I can do the division, I can do the bitwise operation, I can do the modulus operation. I can do everything in the integer. But let me come for the floating point value. When I get or when I take real or the float as my data structure, it says that I can store real or the floating point number, that is domain. What about number of operations that can be performed? It says that it can only perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, but it cannot perform bitwise or the modulus operation. They cannot be used for the floating point number, cannot be used for bitwise or the modulus operation. In the same manner, data structure will also give the what they are going to do. What are the operations that can be done? That is about primitive data type. But let us come for the non-primitive data type, or let us come for the user-defined data type. What about user-defined data type? In the user-defined data type, that is structure, union or enum, what is done? We are going to have the combination of every data type. So we cannot specify what is the operation that can be done on that particular data type. For example, I cannot mention what is the operation that can be done on the structure. Why? Because it is not only having integer, it is having everything. It can have the float also. It can have the character. It can have the boolean also. Okay. So let us come for the ADT or abstract data type. Abstract data type are also similar to your user defined data type, which defines the operations on the values by using the function. But it will not specify what is used inside the function and how the operation is getting performed. For example, when I say the stack, I have the push operation, or I have the is empty, I have the is full, I have the pop operation. So I have different operations are there, but I will not specify what is the value that is going to be present there. Okay. So if I am having the object a of n, then a is the array and that can store n elements. A of I, that is item in the array A stored in the ith position. So you can have the a of 0 to a of n minus 1 or a of 1 to a of n. If you are trying to assess the a of I whose data is not specified, then it will give the error message. Thank you.